I feel so like, ugh, I'm stressed.
Bonita Applebum, gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum said you gotta put me on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Malia, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about things you need to know before you start college, part 2. I decided I was going to go ahead and do another part to this topic because there was some stuff that was left unsaid, and also nobody talks about buying supplies, buying like school supplies for college, and so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that too. And so without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Thing number 1, we're going to be talking about buying supplies. What people don't talk about in your videos are like, you know, how you should go about buying your books, how you should go about like if you should have a laptop or not, if you should just get like a bunch of school supplies like you would normally do for high school, and how that is. So I'm about to give you the tea, y'all. I definitely recommend that you get your books after the first day of school. Typically they would tell you to get your books before school starts, or your teachers will email you, or they'll give you your syllabus and all this stuff. Normally the books cost over $50. It could cost up to $300 depending on what type of class you take. And I recommend waiting until after the first day of school because 9 times out of 10 you won't need that book in that class unless your teacher really stresses that you need the book. But most of the times professors literally go off of the curriculum and you don't need books at all. I recommend waiting until after the first day of class to get your books so you don't waste money. Cause that's what I did when I started college. I got my books like a week before I was supposed to get them, and I had spent like over like what books did I got? It was English and another class I had got books for, and we didn't use the books at all, so I could have saved that money. So I recommend waiting until after the first day to get your books. Also, you don't really need like binders or anything because almost everything you do is going to be online. So I recommend getting a folder or getting like a thin binder or something, just something you can take notes in real quick or stash stuff away, because you're not really going to be getting that many papers since everything is online. So really all you need is like a pencil, a notebook, a folder, and that's about it. And you also need a laptop. If you have a desktop computer, then you probably don't need a laptop, but you might. I do recommend getting one because most people take notes on their laptop in class, or your professor will tell you to look up something that you might need or whatever, and it's easier to pull things up on a laptop like this one right here. But if you have a desktop browser at home or in your dorm or something and you rather use that instead, then that's perfectly okay. But do not go to school without some electronic device that you can use to type your papers, to take notes, to look things up, because you can't just look up everything on your phone. So I definitely recommend getting a laptop, or at least just having a computer available for you to use. And then they do have computers on campus. If you rather use that, that's fine, but I definitely recommend getting a laptop. It's really, really, really helpful. 10 out of 10. It doesn't matter what type you get. You could get Apple, or you could get what, I don't know what else there is, like Dell. I don't know, but I have an Apple laptop, so and it works fine. So any laptop will work fine, really. Just something that you'll be able to take notes on, to write papers on, to look things up, all that good stuff put into one. Thing number 2, it is super easy to get overwhelmed, especially since it'll be your first year of college, and college is a whole new world in high school. So it's definitely important for you to have me time, so you can just sit down and reflect on what's been going on in your college life or in your personal life or life in general, so you're not influenced by outside I guess you could say variables or something, outside variables. I don't know, but stuff that doesn't include you, basically. Make sure you have your me time, because it's super easy to get overwhelmed. And most of the time last school year, I was always with someone. I was always, even if I was in my dorm, my roommate was there, and I was always with someone, and I was never really alone. And so that kind of was super overwhelming because I never really had time to just, you know, deal with my feelings and actually like, you know, think about like the stuff that's actually going on in my life. And I never really had the time to do that because I was always around someone. I was in class, I was in my dorm, my roommate was there, or I was hanging out with friends or something. I was always doing something. And it is good. Sometimes it feels good to busy yourself so you don't have to think about like stuff that's actually going on, but it is good to have those times where you just sit down and relax and just kind of figure out what's going on in your life and kind of just like reflect, you know. It's really good to do that. It's super healthy. And also, again, your me time is just managing your time in general. See, me, I have no idea how to manage my time, and I tried more towards the second semester, but the first semester I was really, like I said, I was super overwhelmed with anything. I went to the class or whatever. I never really like set out a time for me to do my homework or for me to relax or for me to hang out with friends or nothing. I just did whatever popped up at the moment. Like I could be doing homework and someone could hit me up and be like, hey, we're about to go dance. And I'm like, bet. And then I drop my homework and go dance. But yeah, it's really good to manage your time so you definitely don't overwhelm and stress yourself out, and so you know what you need to do at what time. And also know your limits. Know when something is too much, basically, especially when homework. Like, don't work yourself to death. Make sure you take breaks, make sure you relax, make sure you go do something fun, make sure you just balance everything out. Basically, just make sure you have a balance to, let me get off of me. Yeah, just make sure you have a balance to what you're doing to like keeping your schoolwork and your social time and your me time and extracurricular activities and just everything, like your job, volunteer, whatever you're doing. Just make sure there's a balance to everything so it doesn't become too much, because once it's too much, then that throws you off track with literally everything. So make sure you don't get thrown off track, because that's not fun. Number 3, definitely do not expect college to be like high school. It's literally nothing like high school. It's literally so far from high school, I swear. But back when I was in high school, but when I was in high school, I was always surrounded by the same people. You know, I grew up with these people. They've always been to school with me. Everybody had the same type of mentality, surrounded by like the same stuff that I've been surrounded by like my whole life. But then when I got to college, it was like I was open to a whole new world. It's so many different people that you're going to meet, encounter, and all this stuff. So many different types of things, you know. Sometimes you will see cliques or encounter like some people who still have like that high school teenager type mentality. But most of the people are mature. Nobody cares. You could literally do whatever you want. You could trip and curse at the sidewalk and nobody will care. Nobody would even bat an eye. Like, college is great. Number 4, college is literally what you make it. If you're going there saying you're going to get involved in all the activities, all the clubs, all the stuff, you will have a busy year, and you will have that because that's what you wanted. If you're going there saying that you're not going to really talk to nobody, you're going to keep to yourself or whatever, then that's how it's going to be. You're going to keep to yourself and nothing's really going to, you know, bother your little bubble thing or whatever. Or if you go in there saying you're going to make a whole bunch of friends, and you go there and you will make a whole bunch of friends, it's literally what you decide you want it to be. Because there's so many different people and so many different ways it can go for everybody. You know, it's nothing like how high school is, where you just go in, you know, it's the same stuff you've been around all the time. It's all new stuff, so you could literally decide how you want it to be. This is like your fresh start. You could basically start over your whole life in college. It's great. You could literally find your people, basically. You could find yourself and you could find your people while you're at school, and it's amazing. You can choose what you want to be involved with, and you don't have to just join stuff because people tell you to join stuff. There's literally so many different things you could join, and especially with all the different majors and minors and concentrations there are, there's something for everybody there. You have so much freedom. You could literally, like, you know, live your best life. You'll be living your best and worst life at the same time, but you'll be living your best life, and that's all that matters. And so it's like some quick stuff that you need to know. Definitely don't take 8 a.m.s if you don't live on campus. Definitely don't take night classes either. Make sure you befriend upperclassmen. They will always help you. Studying in college actually goes a long way, so keep that in mind. Make sure you get a planner or you will die. College is about getting an education, but it's also about, you know, getting that experience and opening yourself up to new things. So make sure you just go, have fun, live your best life, stay on top of your grades and school stuff. And if you decide that college is not for you while you're there, that's perfectly fine. Then you could dip. So really, YOLO. Alright guys, those are the 4+ things that you should know before you start college. I hope these helped you. If not, I'm sorry. If you have any questions or want me to make any type of, you know, college type related videos or whatever, I'm always down for anything. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or die. Just play. I'm not. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Malia Brown, and your girl Addie 3000. Peace, 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 peace.